right, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Heartland Championship Wrestling, brought to you live here on the Dave Cave by way of the Epic Sports Broadcasting Network. My name is Dave Little, and we are coming to you with action from Pro Wrestling Mid-America, and a big night it will be, as the dignitaries are already making their way to the ringside seats. We say hello to Carl Zilla, Brian Vanderwall, and Derek Bauman, first in line here at the box office for tonight's action. Outstanding double main event. We're going to get all this in hopefully before the beginning of WrestleMania tonight, so we can get some live wrestling on the channel, followed by the granddaddy of them all, WrestleMania. Our main event will be for the Pro Wrestling Mid-America Heavyweight Championship as Nick Bockwinkel defends his title against Randy the Macho Man Savage. The vacant Pro Wrestling Mid-America Tag Team Championship will be decided when Jack and Jerry Brisco take on the Road Warriors. We will also see a grudge match that has been a long time coming as Ted DiBiase attempts to get his hands on Don KERNODLE. And we'll open the broadcast with a match between Dr. Death, Steve Williams, and Big Scott Norton. Now, prior to the live presentation, the early matches started off with Bret Hart picking up a submission victory over Sammy Guevara with the sharpshooter. We saw the debut of a new tag team here in Pro Wrestling Mid-America, the team of Tony Gurria and Larry Zbyszko. They had quite a battle against the Valiant Brothers, but it was Zbyszko who wound up gaining the pinfall with a very nice back suplex and bridge on Jimmy Valiant, so the team of Gurria and Zbyszko are triumphant in their Heartland debut. Then we saw Barry Windham, a member of the notorious stable known as Whatever We Want, or 3W. He took on Ricky Starks. Ricky Starks put on a good match, but Windham took him down with a lariat. And after the decision, it was the man who the 3W stable calls the prospect, Kevin Steen, who I guess is trying to work his way into the stable. Steen came into the ring at the direction of Terry Funk and put the boots to Starks and kicked him out of the ring. And Windham and Funk had a good laugh about that. And then just before we came to air in a return match, special challenge match, Jushin Thunder Liger was victorious over Jay White. So that is what has been happening here in the Dave Cave on this fine WrestleMania Saturday. And we are now ready for tonight's first televised broadcast. Ladies and gentlemen, your following contest is scheduled for one fall with a 30-minute time limit. Introducing first, 6'3", 340 pounds, out of Minneapolis, Minnesota. This is Scott Norton. And his opponent comes to you from Norman, Oklahoma, 6'2", 275 pounds. Former NWA World Heavyweight Champion Steve Dr. Death Williams. So Dr. Death and Scott Norton will be squaring off in tonight's opening televised matchup. And with that, I believe we are ready for action. Standard singles matchup here, disqualification rules in effect. And as they come together, it is Dr. Death who wins the opening initiative roll. And Dr. Death immediately grabs Norton for a whip to the turnbuckle. Off the turnbuckle comes Norton, and on a roll of 7, it is Norton who grabs the arm of Williams and reverses that whip into the turnbuckle. Williams now coming off and reverses the whip in the opposite direction. Both these guys A-rated performers at the turnbuckle. And now it is Williams on the reversal going to the turnbuckle, and on a roll of 6, it is Williams who lifts the knee into the head of Scott Norton, stunning Norton and putting Williams in control as we say hello to Neil Lau at ringside. Norton now at the mercy of Dr. Death. Dr. Death with a whip to the ropes. Off the ropes comes Big Scott Norton. And on a roll of 10, it is a big belly-to-belly suplex executed by Williams as Norton came off the ropes and down to the canvas hard goes Scott Norton. Nicely executed move there by Williams. Catching Norton coming off the ropes for a big belly-to-belly suplex and body slam. And now it is going to be the Oklahoma Stampede. Delivered by Dr. Death. He's got him up. He slams him down to the canvas hard. Running power slam. He's going to go for the cover. The pin roll is 5, and on a roll of 6, Norton just got out. But Dr. Death is in control, and now Dr. Death is going for another belly-to-belly suplex, and Norton is down. Back together they come, and Norton now is going to go for a standing drop kick. Big athletic move for the 275-pounder. This is a choice C maneuver, so he will need a roll of 8 or lower to connect with this. And on a roll of 9, Norton is able to deflect the blow, and Norton is able to get to his feet and body slam Williams down to the canvas. Norton now in control. Norton, one of the few men on earth who can go toe-to-toe with Steve Williams in the power department. Williams does have an advantage in the agility. As Norton comes together and is going to go with a whip to the ropes. Off the ropes comes Steve Williams. And on a roll of 7, it is a big back elbow by Scott Norton that stuns Steve Williams. Norton now with another whip to the ropes. As Miho Burns is in the chat room. Whip to the ropes now. Oh, and as Williams comes off the ropes, it is a Norton who sets his head too soon, and Williams comes off, grabs him by the arms, and just pile drives him down to the canvas hard. Williams back in control after that nice move. Williams is now going to go for a superplex. The superplex, a choice H maneuver. So he will need a roll of 9 or lower to execute this successfully. But on a roll of 10, Norton powers his way down out of the superplex and shoves Williams down to the canvas. Norton now in control. Norton with a big headbutt that stuns Dr. Death. So Norton avoided the superplex, came down off of the middle turnbuckle and just nailed Williams with a headbutt that staggers Williams. Norton is now going to go for a suplex of his own. This is a choice D maneuver. He'll need a roll of 9 or lower to execute that, and on a roll of 6, he gets him up, over, and down hard to the canvas. Williams getting to his feet, both men coming back together in the center of the ring. Cleveland baseball fan 879 is here, as this chat room just keeps getting cooler and cooler. As they come together, it is Norton with an attack in the corner, burying his shoulder into the midsection of Williams, but Williams fires back, and it is Williams who grabs Norton by the arm and whips him across the ring to the opposite turnbuckle. But as Williams charges into the corner, Norton ducks out of the way, and Williams crashes shoulder first into the steel ring post and tumbles out of the ring. Action now going out to the arena floor. But it is Williams who gets the better of the brawl on the arena floor as he grabs Scott Norton and delivers a big back suplex onto the arena floor. And Norton is done. Back into the ring. It is Williams with another big belly-to-belly suplex. Out of the ring and down, back into the ring and down to the canvas hard goes Norton. Now Norton is going to take it upon himself to leave the ring. And on a roll of 3, it is Norton who grabs the leg of Dr. Death Williams and whips Steve Williams into the security rail where Williams hits hard. Boy, a hard-hitting match between these two. Norton in control. Norton is going to keep the action out here on the arena floor. But on a roll of 7, it is Williams who wins the brawl on the arena floor. As they go back into the ring, Williams now in control. And Williams is going to go with a big press slam, high overhead, very impressive. That's almost a 350-pound guy, but Williams presses him overhead, slams him down to the canvas. Williams now going for the pin. The pin roll is 4 or lower, and on a roll of 3, he got him. Dr. Death Steve Williams is your winner after a huge press slam. Puts Norton down for the 3 count. So congratulations indeed to Dr. Death Steve Williams, former NWA World Heavyweight Champion here in the Heartland. Looking good with a hard-fought and hard-hitting victory over a very tough opponent in Scott Norton. Much to the disappointment of Cleveland baseball fan 879, who was pulling for Norton in that contest. But Dr. Death Steve Williams is your winner in the opening bout. Now, the next contest is a grudge match. And should be a very interesting grudge match indeed. The following contest is scheduled for one fall with no time limit and no disqualification. Introducing first, from Omaha, Nebraska, he is 6'3", 245 pounds. This is Ted DiBiase. And his opponent comes to you from Charlotte, North Carolina, 6'1", 249 pounds. This is Don KERNODLE. So KERNODLE against DiBiase, and the bad blood here goes back months, as DiBiase was involved in a lumberjack match. KERNODLE was one of the lumberjacks, and it was KERNODLE who came off the ring apron and nailed Ted DiBiase in the middle of DiBiase doing something dirty that put DiBiase back on an even par in the match and prevented him from doing any mischievous deeds. And DiBiase has been on the warpath for Don KERNODLE since then. DiBiase has put out a bounty, and KERNODLE has survived attacks from the likes of Chris Adams and also from the Moondogs. And now it is Ted DiBiase himself coming to attempt to put an end to this madness once and for all and see if he can't get his own pound of flesh out of one Don KERNODLE here tonight in Kansas City. And the opening initiative role is won by DiBiase. DiBiase accompanied at ringside by a couple of his henchmen, thugs if you will, Big Scott Hall and Meng, accompanying DiBiase to the ring, while very bravely KERNODLE is seconded by his brother Rocky KERNODLE. As they move together in the center of the ring, KERNODLE's going to need all of his amateur wrestling skills to survive in this situation, as DiBiase comes at him with a knee lift, and KERNODLE is stunned. DiBiase taking control, and DiBiase going with a whip to the ropes. Off the ropes comes Don KERNODLE. Oh, but on a roll of 4, it is DiBiase who sets his back body drop too soon, and KERNODLE comes off with a big hammer fist to the back of the head, and DiBiase is down. KERNODLE is going to go right up to the top rope and attempt a death jump. And off the top rope comes KERNODLE, and on a roll of 7, he nails Ted DiBiase with a flying clothesline off of the top turnbuckle. And KERNODLE now in control with a big fist drop onto DiBiase. But oh, DiBiase rolls out of the way of that one, and DiBiase takes over control. DiBiase whipped to the turnbuckle. Off the turnbuckle comes Don KERNODLE, and on a roll of 10, it is a big kick from DiBiase that stuns KERNODLE. DiBiase now follows that up with another whip to the ropes. Off the ropes comes KERNODLE, and on a roll of 5, again, it is KERNODLE who gets the drop, coming off the ropes with a powerful flying shoulder tackle that takes DiBiase down to the mat and puts KERNODLE back in control. This match has been conducted in the ring so far, which is exactly where KERNODLE wants it. He doesn't want to get on the outside where Big Scott Hall and Meng are waiting to do their damage. And now KERNODLE in control with a whip to the ropes. Off the ropes now comes DiBiase. And oh, on a roll of snake eyes, DiBiase comes off with a sunset flip. Goes for the cover. The pin roll is a 3. And on a roll of 4, KERNODLE just kicks out. Wow. I don't think KERNODLE was expecting a sunset flip in this situation where he's fighting for his life. And now DiBiase moves in, and he's going to come off the second rope with a double axe handle blow. This is a choice E maneuver. Choice E meaning he needs a roll of 9 or lower to execute that successfully, and on a roll of 3, he nailed it. And KERNODLE is staggered. DiBiase in control. DiBiase now with another whip to the turnbuckle. Off the turnbuckle comes KERNODLE, and this time on a roll of 3, it is KERNODLE who dodges a running clothesline, rolls up DiBiase in a schoolboy. He's going to go for the cover on DiBiase on a roll of snake eyes, but DiBiase kicks out of that one. So nothing but technical wrestling in this battle so far, with KERNODLE holding his own. And now KERNODLE is going off to the top rope, and he comes off with a clothesline. Excuse me. And nails DiBiase again. KERNODLE goes for the cover. The pin roll is 3. And that's a leader, so we do it all over again. And on a roll of 8, it is DiBiase who kicks out once again. KERNODLE in control. KERNODLE now with another fist drop that stuns DiBiase. KERNODLE follows that up with an elbow drop onto the fallen DiBiase. The fans in Kansas City here are rocking with Don KERNODLE as he tries to drop the elbow again. This time DiBiase rolls out of the way, and it is DiBiase with a falling fist drop, and KERNODLE rolls out of the way of that one. Both these guys mistimed those maneuvers, and now it is a boot to the midsection from KERNODLE, and DiBiase is going to fire right back, and it is DiBiase with a whip to the turnbuckle. Off the turnbuckle comes KERNODLE, and this time on a roll of 10, it is a big kick from DiBiase that stuns KERNODLE, and the match continues with DiBiase in control. DiBiase now with a whip to the ropes. Off the ropes comes Don KERNODLE, and on a roll of 7, it is a running back elbow from DiBiase that stuns KERNODLE. DiBiase with another falling fist drop. Didn't get all of that one. KERNODLE to his feet, but as they come together, it is DiBiase. Oh, rake of the eyes. That's nasty. DiBiase just goes right to the eyes of Don KERNODLE, and DiBiase follows that up with another fist drop. And KERNODLE is again dazed. DiBiase, with a big clothesline that just about took the boots off of Don KERNODLE. And KERNODLE is going to roll out of the ring, and that may be a bad idea. But the momentum of that clothesline took KERNODLE through the ropes and down to the arena floor, where the brawl will continue. And it is KERNODLE who comes up fighting fire with fire. They're slugging it out on the arena floor. We go to the odd-even roll, and on an odd roll of 5, it is DiBiase who wins the brawl on the arena floor. And now as they come back into the ring, DiBiase is going to drop KERNODLE with a backbreaker, and again, KERNODLE is going out to the arena floor. And this time we've got shenanigans. It is time for some shenanigans here. It was a long time coming, but it's going to happen as we go to the ringside mayhem chart. What will the ringside mayhem chart bring us in this grudge match situation? And on a roll of 12, it is the Wild Brawl. The Wild Brawl on the arena floor. Both wrestlers roll a gut check to see who comes out on top in the Wild Brawl. And actually their gut check numbers are even, as DiBiase has the better cage rating but more fatigue tokens. And on a roll of 10, it is DiBiase who wins the brawl on the arena floor, and that's going to cost KERNODLE a point of fatigue. As the battle continues, DiBiase now is going to try that second rope axe handle again on a roll of 9 or lower. And on a roll of 9, he nailed it, and KERNODLE is stunned. And DiBiase now has got control of this one. DiBiase now clamps on the Cobra Clutch. This is a submission hold. The submission roll is 7 or lower. And on a roll of 7, he put him away. Ted DiBiase puts away Don KERNODLE with the Cobra Clutch. KERNODLE goes out, and DiBiase and his boys now have the chance to do their damage to Don KERNODLE. Rocky KERNODLE comes into the ring. He's trying to stand over his fallen brother, but DiBiase is having none of it. let us see what is going to happen here. As we go to the attack table. And on a roll of 10, it is a pull-apart brawl between all 5 of the wrestlers. But Meng has the chance to get the best of the situation. And out of nowhere, here comes Dr. Death, Steve Williams. Dr. Death, Steve Williams is coming in to join the fracas. And he takes Meng and throws Meng off of Don KERNODLE. And now the odds are even again as Rocky helps KERNODLE to his feet. And we have got a standoff in the ring as Meng and Big Scott Hall and Ted DiBiase are staring down Dr. Death, Steve Williams, and the KERNODLE brothers. And thank goodness for Dr. Death, Steve Williams coming in to save the day. Williams and DiBiase have been former allies who had their relationship go sour. And that was one of the things that set this whole feud in motion. And now it is Williams coming back to confront DiBiase and spare the hide, pretty much, of Don KERNODLE, who was at the mercy of DiBiase and his, as Miho Burns would call them, his advisors. So DiBiase and his advisors finish in a standoff against Williams and the KERNODLE brothers, as the fans here in Kansas City are loving it. All right. I'm sure we haven't seen the end of that feud yet. We're probably headed towards a 6-man tag match between all 6 of these men. Maybe we'll put that on the airwaves in a couple of weeks at our next pay-per-view broadcast. But for now, your winner is indeed Ted DiBiase. But once again, by hook or by crook, Don KERNODLE lives to fight another day. And that another day is going to come in the form of a 6-man tag match. Why, Steve, why, says Miho Burns. As Dr. Death Steve Williams still has some bad blood with his former associate, Ted DiBiase. All right, it is now time for our double main event. 2 PWMA championship matches here tonight. The first match is for the vacant Pro Wrestling Mid-America Tag Team Championship, formerly held by Dick the Bruiser and the Crusher, who went on to win the NWA World Tag Team Championships, and in so doing vacated the belts. The BRISCO brothers were in line for the next title shot, so they qualified for a championship match, and Hawk and Animal had to defeat the Steiner brothers to earn this opportunity. So the following contest is scheduled for one fall with a 45-minute time limit, and it is for the Pro Wrestling Mid-America Tag Team Championship. Introducing first, at a total combined weight of 562 pounds, from Chicago, Illinois, accompanied to the ring by Precious Paul Ellering, it is Hawk and Animal, the Road Warriors. And their opponents from Blackwell, Oklahoma, at a total combined weight of 441 pounds. The team of Jack and Jerry Briscoe, the Briscoe brothers. All right, so here we go. The Briscoe brothers taking on the Road Warriors with the tag team championships on the line. As the 4 men come together in the center of the ring, no love lost, but certainly plenty of mutual respect between these teams. So I expect both these teams to do whatever it takes to win. And that will make this a very exciting title match. Ah, what a rush. says Miho Burns. As the championship match is underway, it will be Jack Briscoe starting things off against Road Warrior Hawk in this contest. And the opening initiative role is won by Hawk. As they come together in the center of the ring, it is Hawk delivering a series of forearm pummels to Jack Briscoe. Hawk not interested in locking up, he's just interested in throwing down. And this is a choice F maneuver coming up, meaning that he will need a roll of 7 or lower to successfully execute the forearm pummel. Oh, but on a roll of 11, Jack Briscoe is not going to fall prey to the forearm pummel, and instead it is Briscoe who is going to go for an airplane spin, ducking down. Choice E maneuver in effect here. He'll need a roll of 8 or lower to get that done, and he gets him up. So Hawk came out with the fist flying. Jack Briscoe wisely ducked under. Fireman's carry into an airplane spin, dumping Hawk unceremoniously down to the canvas. Jack Briscoe now in control, and Jack Briscoe with a knee breaker on Hawk, trying to slow the big man down. Hawk not able to get over and make the tag. So Briscoe continues on the attack and continues to work that knee breaker. Hawk now gets to his feet. Once again, they come to the center of the ring, and it is Briscoe with a double leg takedown, dumping Hawk back down to the canvas. Briscoe is really kind of embarrassing Hawk in this opening exchange, and Hawk in frustration reaches out and tags in his partner Road Warrior Animal. So Hawk on the receiving end of a little wrestling clinic there. Animal comes in to see if he can do any better, and he just goes with a press slam. And Jack Briscoe came at him, and Animal just lifts him high up overhead and slams him down to the canvas. And now it is going to be Jack Briscoe making the tag to his brother Jerry. So all 4 men now have been in this match, and as they come together, it is Jerry Briscoe who drops down, grabs the arms of Animal, up, over, and down to the canvas in a monkey flip. Well executed move there by Jerry Briscoe. As the Briscoe brothers continue to show their technical wrestling expertise, they come back together in the center of the ring, and this time it is Animal who grabs a front face lock on Jerry Briscoe. Briscoe unable to make the blind tag to his brother as Animal maintains control. Animal going for a big drop kick there. Big athletic move by the 280-pounder, but Jerry ducks out of the way of that one, and Animal misses everything. As Briscoe now comes back in control and is going to go for a drop kick. This is a choice C maneuver. He'll need a roll of 8 or lower to connect on that. And on a roll of 9, Animal gets out of the way of the drop kick. So these all 4 men are have really got their game faces on. And as they come together, it's Animal this time with just a blatant chokehold. Animal grabbing a chokehold on Jerry Briscoe as the referee lays on the count. Briscoe not able to get over and tag in Jack. As Briscoe tries to get over, Animal goes right back to the blatant choke again. Count of 1, 2, 3, and this time Jerry is able to reach over and tag in brother Jack. So all 4 of these men doing what they do best. The Briscoes with the technical wrestling, Hawk and Animal with the rough stuff. And as Jack Briscoe comes to the ring, he grabs Animal in a lockup and goes with a whip to the turnbuckle. Off the turnbuckle comes the Animal. And on a roll of 9, it is a big kick from Jack Briscoe that stuns Road Warrior Animal. Jack Briscoe now in control. Briscoe again going for that airplane spin. Again, he's going to need a roll of 10 or lower. He gets it. And he dumps Animal down to the canvas once again. So Briscoe really doing a little taunting here and a little nasty smirk on his face as Animal not very happy about the way this match is starting. And now Briscoe is going to go for the airplane spin again. This time Animal powers his way out. And it is Animal with a scoop slam down hard to the canvas goes Jack Briscoe. Briscoe a little lesson in humility here. The wrestlers come together in the center of the ring once again. Once again it is Jack Briscoe with a whip to the turnbuckle. Off the turnbuckle comes Animal, and on a roll of 9, again, it is Jack Briscoe getting the best of this one with a big kick. Briscoe back in control and working that knee breaker again. Animal rolls away. They come back together in the center of the ring, and it is Animal this time with the elbow hammer onto Jack Briscoe. And Jack fires right back, tries to get a big body slam in there. That's not going to happen against a big man like Animal. And it is Animal with a scoop and a slam hard down to the mat. Jack now not able to get over to make the tag, as Animal pulls Jack up by the hair, and Animal once again is going to that blatant chokehold. Animal showing a little frustration here, but Jack is able to reverse that and come with a whip to the ropes. Off the ropes comes Animal, and on a roll of 10, that is a running double clothesline. Jack Briscoe gets the better of that as he's got the better ropes rating, and Jack Briscoe now has Animal down. Briscoe coming in, he goes for a rolling reverse cradle. This is a pinning predicament. The pin roll is 2. And on a roll of 8, Animal is able to kick out of the reverse cradle. Very expertly executed by Jack Briscoe. And now a gut wrench backbreaker takes Animal up over and down hard to the canvas. Animal not able to get over and make the tag. Jack does make the tag, and he is going to go for a double team with Brother Jerry. And on a roll of 6, it is a bone-crunching double clothesline. Delivered by the Briscoe brothers, Animal still is stunned. Jerry Briscoe now the legal man in the ring. He goes for the Oklahoma side roll. Another pinning predicament. The pin roll now is a 3. And on a roll of snake eyes, he gets him. Can Paul Ellering provide the distraction here? Yes, he can. So Briscoe pinned Animal, but Ellering jumps onto the ring apron to create the distraction. And the referee is interrupted in the middle of the 3 count. On a very near victory for the Briscoe brothers here by way of the Oklahoma side roll. Jack and Jerry are going to take advantage of the distraction and execute another double team. And on a roll of 7, it is another bone-crunching double clothesline on Animal. Animal got out of that pinning predicament, but he is still in trouble here as Jack Briscoe hits the ring. And it is Jack Briscoe with another gut-wrench backbreaker. Up, over, and down hard to the canvas goes Animal. Briscoe goes for the cover again. The pin roll now is 4. And on a roll of 5, Animal just kicks out. And Hawk has had enough. When we hit 3 fatigue tokens, that is the time when we go to the interference chart. And into the ring on the outside interference chart comes Road Warrior Hawk, and on a roll of 4, it is Hawk who attacks Jack Briscoe with a deadly specialty move. This could result in a disqualification, and it will not be a disqualification, but Animal tried to cover Briscoe, and the referee refuses to count the pinfall. So yeah, that would have been a disqualification if it had been an outside interference, but instead we will simply say that the referee refuses to count the pinfall because that's your tag team partner. You're not going to get disqualified for that. But Animal is still down. Briscoe is down. First to his feet is Animal. And Animal is going to pitch Jack Briscoe out of the ring. Action goes out to the arena floor. And on a roll of 9, it is Animal who nails Jack Briscoe with a running clothesline on the arena floor. And Animal now is going to roll back into the ring and tag in his brother, the fresh man, Hawk. And Hawk comes into the ring and awaits the return of Jack Briscoe. Hawk now in the ring and in control. And Hawk is going to pitch Briscoe out of the ring yet again. Will we see some shenanigans here? No, we will not. Briscoe on the out of the ring roll hits a 7, which is the best man win rolls, and in this case, Hawk has the better rating on the arena floor and wins the brawl and pitches Jack Briscoe back into the ring. And now out of the ring again, Hawk sends Jack Briscoe. And this time it is Briscoe again having to defend himself on the arena floor. And this time Hawk annihilates him with a running clothesline. And the Road Warriors have now used both of their outside interference rolls. but BRISCO nailed by a running clothesline on the arena floor. That is a countout roll on 3 or lower. And BRISCO takes another point of fatigue. Hawk now in control with Jack BRISCO, desperate to make a tag to Brother Jerry. Hawk now with a gut wrench suplex takes Jack BRISCO over and down to the canvas. Hawk follows that up with a drop kick. And Jack BRISCO took a glancing blow from the drop kick, manages to get to his feet. And as they come back together in the center of the ring, it is Jack with a snapmare taking Hawk over to the canvas and allowing Jack to get over and tag in Brother Jerry. So both Animal and Jack BRISCO have survived a couple of beatings here, as Jerry and Hawk are the fresh men in the ring. And as they come together, it's Jerry with a single leg takedown. Hawk is not going to be taken down, and Hawk overpowers Jerry and picks him up high overhead and slams him down to the canvas in a press slam. Jerry tried for that double leg takedown. Hawk just hoisted him up overhead, slams him down to the canvas. Hawk going for the cover. The pin roll is 3 or lower, and on a roll of 4, Jerry does get his left shoulder out of there, and the match will continue with Hawk in control. Hawk now with an over-the-shoulder backbreaker, taking Jerry down to the canvas. Hawk looking good here. Hawk follows that up with an attempted drop kick. Jerry BRISCO gets out of the way of that. And on the level 2 reversal, it is Jerry coming back with a whip to the turnbuckle. Off the turnbuckle comes Hawk, and on a roll of 7, it is a big kick from Jerry BRISCO that stuns Hawk. Jerry BRISCO now the man in control. And Jerry BRISCO not able to get Hawk up for a body slam. And Hawk instead reverses that into a vertical suplex. He's going to go for another cover. The pin roll is 4. And on a roll of 6, Jerry again is able to kick out. But Jerry now starting to show some signs of fatigue, as Hawk has gotten the best of Jerry here. And Hawk is going to follow that up with another gut wrench suplex. And Jerry BRISCO goes down. Hawk coming in, tag to Animal. And they go to a running double clothesline that stuns Jerry BRISCO. And that is an add 1 move, so it put another point of fatigue on Jerry BRISCO. And Animal now the legal man in the ring as a result of the tag. Animal comes in, it's the Doomsday Device. They've got him up. They slam him down to the canvas. They're going to go for the cover. Jack is immediately coming in for the attempted pin save. The pin roll is 10 or lower. They do get the cover. Can Jack make the save on a roll of 6? Jack is just able to make the save, and the match will continue. As they hit Jerry with the Doomsday Device, but Jack came in to make the save. Hawk now the legal man in the ring. And on the double team, it is a running forearm smash delivered by Hawk to Jerry BRISCO. And Jerry is still stunned. Hawk coming in now with another drop kick. And he did get Jerry down to the canvas with that one. Hawk follows that up with another drop kick. And this time Jerry ducks out of the way. And as they come together in the center of the ring, it is Jerry with the fireman's carry who takes Hawk down to the canvas successfully. Jerry quickly tags in Brother Jack, who is now the fresh man in the ring. Here comes Jack BRISCO. Jack coming in and going for that airplane spin. He needs a roll of 8 or lower to execute that successfully. He gets him up over and dumps him down to the canvas. Does Jack BRISCO, and Hawk now is going to roll out of the ring. On the arena floor, it is Hawk who is going to take the fight to BRISCO on the arena floor. A5 is the double disqualification roll. We will not see that BRISCO is disqualified. We will actually potentially see Hawk disqualified on another roll of 5 or lower. And on a roll of 3, that's it. Hawk just went nuts on the arena floor, got himself disqualified. And this is a standard standard tag team championship match. So by way of disqualification, the winners of the match will be the BRISCO brothers, and the BRISCO brothers will be awarded the tag team championship. Controversial decision here in Kansas City as Hawk is DQ'd. after a fierce brawl on the arena floor on the heels of a fierce match with Jack and Jerry Briscoe. And we're going to have to get a commissioner's ruling on this one. Controversy here in Kansas City as Al Red Sox fan joins us. Smack that like button, folks. Greatly appreciate it. Yes, indeed. Please do smack that like button for the count of 3. As we are going to bring out Pro Wrestling Mid-America Commissioner Lance Russell to get his ruling on this situation. And that happened because the titles were vacant. The Briscoe brothers do not hold the tag belts. The tag belts were vacant before this match. But the match was conducted under standard championship match rules, which means disqualification rules are in effect. So Jack and Jerry Briscoe are your winners. And according to Lance Russell, as you know, here in Heartland Championship Wrestling, the decision of the referee is final. But the ruling coming down from Lance Russell is that the Briscoe brothers will be awarded the belts. They are your Pro Wrestling Mid-America Tag Team Champions. But Hawk and Animal will be awarded a championship rematch. So a future rematch for Hawk and Animal, again under standard disqualification rules. But Hawk and Animal will be given another opportunity at the belts. And I suppose that's as fair as it can be, because you certainly don't want a you don't want to give these wrestlers license to do whatever they want to, and just have the championship match turn into a complete free-for-all without any sense of sportsmanship in a no disqualification situation. But recognizing that this was a hard-fought match and that there was plenty of good wrestling that took place, there will be a rematch, and it will be under standard championship rules. But for tonight, your winners and the new Pro Wrestling Mid-America Tag Team Champions are the Briscoe brothers. As the fans here in Kansas City are again voicing their displeasure at the decision of belts being awarded on a disqualification. But Lance Russell did the next best thing in that situation, calling for a rematch between the Briscoes and the Road Warriors, but indeed awarding the belts to the Briscoes as a result of the disqualification. And in all honesty, Hawk's got to know better. You can't just you can't just lose control of your emotions in a situation like this. And you know, Hawk was legitimately disqualified in that situation as a result of his actions. As Precious Paul Ellering takes his men back to ringside, and they begin plotting their strategy for the rematch upcoming against the Briscoe brothers, again with the Tag Team Championship on the line. All right, and that brings us to our main event of the evening. The following contest is scheduled for one fall with a 60-minute time limit, and it is for the Pro Wrestling Mid-America Heavyweight Championship. And again, standard championship rules are in effect. So once again, the disqualification rules will be in effect. And, you know, the fans at ringside still buzzing with their frustration over the ending of that last match. And to be honest, I can't blame you. But Lance Russell did the next best thing to declare a rematch. So, the following contest. Pro Wrestling Mid-America Heavyweight Championship on the line. Introducing first the challenger. Out of Sarasota, Florida. He stands at 6'1". He weighs 248 pounds. He is the one and only Macho Man, Randy Savage. And his opponent is your reigning and defending Pro Wrestling Mid-America Heavyweight Champion out of Beverly Hills, California. He stands at 6'1" and weighs in at 245 pounds, the one and only Nick Bockwinkel. So Bockwinkel and Savage squaring off in tonight's main event with the title on the lines. And a stare down in the ring. Bockwinkel offering Macho Man a handshake with a smirk on his face and a complete lack of sincerity. And Macho Man turns his back to Bockwinkel, twirls his finger in the air, turns back to face Bockwinkel, pulling off the robe, and it is on here in Kansas City in tonight's main event. And it is Nick Bockwinkel who wins the opening initiative role. Oh yeah, says Mijo Burns at ringside. But as they come together, it is Bockwinkel with a double leg takedown, immediately rolling Savage over into a Boston Crab. Once again, it is a technical wrestler par excellence in Nick Bockwinkel, who is going to have to deal with the unchained mayhem of one Macho Man Randy Savage. And the best way to do that is to take him down to the mat and work him over, as Bockwinkel is doing here off the opening lockup. Savage not going to submit to that, obviously, and I don't think Bockwinkel expected a submission as Savage makes his way to the bottom rope, but as Savage gets to his feet, Bockwinkel is on him with a big back suplex up, over, and down hard to the canvas. And immediately it is Macho Man rolling out of the ring. Action goes out to the arena floor, but on a roll of 10, it is Bockwinkel who comes out of the ring and tries to hit Savage with an object like a steel chair. The referee is going to lay down the warning on Bockwinkel. Will we see a disqualification here? On a roll of 7, we will not. So Bockwinkel gets away with it. And as they come back into the center of the ring, it is Bockwinkel in control. And it is Bockwinkel who is going to choke his man down on the ropes. Bockwinkel now flaunting the rules against Savage. And Savage being choked down for a count of 1, 2, 3, and on the count of 4, Bockwinkel breaks the chokehold. Savage gets up, and Bockwinkel immediately goes with a whip to the ropes. Off the ropes comes the Macho Man, and on a roll of 9, it is a running back elbow from Nick Bockwinkel that stuns Randy Savage. Bockwinkel still in control. Bockwinkel now going to go for a drop kick. This is a choice C maneuver. So he will need a roll of 6 or lower to hit the drop kick. And on a roll of 4, he did catch Savage with the drop kick. Didn't get all of it. And now Savage gets up off the canvas. And it is Savage who charges in and just nails Nick Bockwinkel with a neckbreaker clothesline. So Savage had had enough of that technical nonsense. And Savage with a running clothesline takes Bockwinkel down to the canvas. Savage now with a whip to the ropes. Off the ropes comes Bockwinkel, and on a roll of 10, this time it is Savage. As they come together, it is the power roll, and Savage does have the power advantage in this situation, so Savage takes Bockwinkel down to the canvas, and Savage is in control. Savage with another whip to the ropes. Off the ropes comes Bockwinkel, and again, a running back elbow from Randy Savage stuns Nick Bockwinkel. Another whip to the ropes. Bockwinkel comes off again, and again it is a big shoulder tackle from Savage that knocks Bockwinkel down to the canvas. And in answer to the question, is the Weasel there? No, Weasel is in the Atlantic Wrestling Federation, where he manages the Nature Boy Ric Flair and Mr. Perfect Kurt Hennig. So Bockwinkel has been on his own here in Pro Wrestling Mid-America in rising to the championship. Here's a big knee drop from Savage. Bockwinkel takes the brunt of that, gets back up to his feet, but Savage comes in with a big elbow to the head. Bockwinkel with the reversal. Fires back with a big back suplex that takes Savage down to the canvas hard. Bockwinkel makes the cover. Savage quickly kicks out of that. His pin rating is only a 1, so he kicks out of that without virtue of a roll, but that takes his first point of fatigue. Bockwinkel now in control, and Bockwinkel goes to the sleeper. The deadly sleeper hold. This is a +2 finisher. The finishing roll is 4 or lower. And on a roll of 4, he got him. Nick Bockwinkel has just put Randy Savage to sleep to successfully defend the Pro Wrestling Mid-America Heavyweight Championship. The Bockwinkel sleeper, one of the deadliest finishing holds in the business. And Bockwinkel picked his spot after what appeared to be a meaningless pin attempt. Savage kicked out. Bockwinkel went right to the sleeper hold, and Savage was put to sleep just like that. Your winner and still Pro Wrestling Mid-America Heavyweight Champion, the one and only Nick Bockwinkel. How about that? Nick Bockwinkel, in the history of Heartland Championship Wrestling, is the only man who has 2 victories over Andre the Giant. And he beat Andre the Giant twice, both times with the Bockwinkel sleeper. And today it was Macho Man Randy Savage taking the long nap as Nick Bockwinkel gets the submission by way of a knockout, and with the sleeper hold takes out Randy Savage to successfully defend the Pro Wrestling Mid-America Heavyweight Championship. So some surprise endings tonight. Again, the big controversy is going to be what happened in the tag match, but the Road Warriors will have their opportunity at a rematch. So congratulations indeed to Nick Bockwinkel, your winner, and successfully defending and retaining the Pro Wrestling Mid-America Heavyweight Championship. Congratulations as well to the Brisco brothers, who fought hard against the Road Warriors and won that decision. Other winners tonight include Ted DiBiase and Dr. Death Steve Williams, and their paths will cross again as that rivalry is renewed in an upcoming 6-man tag match. And that is it for today's broadcast. So thank you to everybody who tuned in to tonight's broadcast. Thank you to Al Red Sox fan, Carl Zilla, Miho Burns, Neil Lau, Cleveland baseball fan 879. Let's see who else was here. I lost track of my chat room now. I have done something to muck things up here. Nothing to see. We popped out. Restore chat. Yeah, thanks to everybody for coming. I was goofing around with the... here we go. I was goofing around with the chat settings. Miho Burns, thank you for coming. Thanks for the kind words. Al Red Sox fan. Neil Lau, Carl Zilla, Cleveland baseball fan 879, Brian Vanderwall. Thank you, Brian, for coming out. Always a pleasure. Hopefully we'll get to see you guys this summer at Galacticon 2023. Derek Bauman was also here, as I recall. Yeah, Galacticon coming up in Waterloo, Iowa in July. I will be making the drive down to be part of Galacticon 2023 and looking forward to it. Brian Vanderwall, got to meet Brian face-to-face for the first time back in 2021 at the, I believe it was 2021. Well, I've got it on the wall right here. Yeah, 2021 Hall of Fame induction weekend. I had the opportunity to spend time face-to-face with Brian Vanderwall and some other dignitaries there in Waterloo, and hopefully we'll get to do so again this year. So thank you again to everybody for coming out. Enjoy WrestleMania or NCAA basketball or YouTube sports or Major League Baseball or whatever your viewing preferences are tonight. That's our stream, and I am out of here.